Welcome back. Now, the ITB 2019 in Berlin, Germany, is shining the spotlight on addressing the modern traveler. Participants are now sharing lessons and experiences of how this industry will be impacted, and that's by the fourth industrial revolution, or the 4IR as we like to call it. Of course, things like artificial intelligence as well as other modern trends are at play. For more, let's cross live now to our business reporter. Liabo Setho is in Berlin, Germany for us. Good afternoon to you, Liabo. Of course, an interesting aspect there to the market. Tell us the latest that's been happening as well today.
Well, I just want to give you a slight picture of just how big this expo is. Take FNB Stadium, for instance, and double that, times it by 2. This is how big the area is, because almost every country in the world is represented here. We are seeing the most elaborate stands to the most, simplest ones. I've seen the South American countries, they've gone all out. They've made sure that their stands are really inviting, and you can even see the culture within the different stands as you visit them. Well, the most important thing about this expo, Arabile, is the well-being of a traveler. I'm sure you love traveling as much as I do, and what we all want is to keep up with the traveling trends. We also want an affordable travel experience, and we also want to make sure that wherever we go we are safe, and that you get the best experience or best value that money can buy. I've asked Setho, he is with Synergy's events management company, and they organize Meetings Africa and Tourism Indaba. So they're probably the best people to help us understand the trends that are within the tourism industry and what we can expect as consumers or tourists of touring the world. Setho, thank you very much for making time to speak to us. First of all, won't you just explain to us what the modern traveler is like and what they are looking for, particularly from a point of view of an African modern traveler?
Thank you very much. I think a modern traveler, for me, it's all about experiences. I think with the modern advent of social media, we find that a lot of our social media people that are on social media want to obviously show off their traveling expertise. They want to show off where they've been. They want to take the best pictures around the world, and therefore it means that they want to travel quite frequently. It obviously means that they travel on a shoestring budget, because obviously they travel once a month perhaps, and I think that for us poses an opportunity in South Africa to make sure that we package the opportunities, or package and invite these kind of travelers to come to our environments and to our places for a 2-night, 3-night stay. So I think the modern traveler for me is someone who is getting younger obviously. They don't travel in groups anymore. I think the single individual sort of explore the world, explore the country, explore the continent of your own is becoming a popular thing. And I think the modern traveler wants to really go to the far lengths of the world. We want to travel to the deep oceans, and we want to travel and see all the forests around the world.
Let's talk about countries that are constrained, or consumers that are constrained due to economic challenges wherever they come from. The reason I say this is because there's the Zimbabwe stand right behind us. And how does a country package in such a way that they also are still inviting to a tourist that is on a very tight budget?
I think, we often, try and criticize our rand, and our rand is actually not doing that badly. I think there are many countries that one can visit with the budget that we have. I think if you look at perhaps a 15,000 rand budget, one can go to the Zimbabwe. Go have a look at the Vic Falls, and that's an experience. I don't think a lot of people can honestly say that they've been to the Vic Falls and experienced Musiwatunya, for example. So I think it is possible. There are obviously a lot of African countries here in Namibia that we can travel to, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, as I mentioned earlier, Seychelles. The opportunities are there, and I think, as I said, we often criticize and talk low about our rand when it is possible to travel on a shoestring budget.
Let's talk about the tourism industry and its preparedness for the fourth industrial revolution and the technological changes that we are witnessing. How far ahead or behind is South Africa in terms of that?
Look, we're obviously not that far behind, but we're not at the cutting edge of technology. You know, I actually met a guy yesterday who was actually explaining to us that his business is all about providing iPads in one's bedrooms or one's rooms, so that they can obviously do the bookings there and then. You know, you can do your spa booking from a tablet in your room, or you can plan your trip from a tablet in your room. Imagine that instant planning of your trip. You know, so I think gone are the days where we kind of pre-plan the trip 6 days or 2 weeks before or 2 months before. We arrive in the country and we experience what we want to experience, and we prepare for it, and we want to go for it there and then. So I think from a technology perspective, we're not that far behind. It would help from a what do you call it? And I forget the word that I'm looking for now. From a Wi-Fi connectivity, that it's also good. You know, so that helps. So I think we could do better, and I think there's room for improvement as well.
Thank you so much, Disetso. Thank you. I really appreciate your input. Arabile, that was Disetso Tau. He is with the Synergy Business Events, and he was giving us his input on the modern traveler. And with that, I hand over back to you in studio, Arabile.